Season 2. I'm finally not alone. Obviously, everybody who's been to East London or is from East London like understands what an event that event is.
I'm a fan of event.
Leave me alone. And like sort of like reintroduced to like the family and all that stuff. So that was like a bit hectic. It's in there. I hate us. But you were like, nope, let me go into guy.
Take that was up. Hold on. Indoda yakho biphaya Jona.
Your husband was there. Ma'am, your husband was there.
October the Podcast is sponsored by Dreamstream. If you want to support us directly and gain access to ad-free versions of our show, please join us on the Dreamstream platform.
Hey guys, welcome back to October the Podcast Season 2. My name is Buhle Lupindo, and of course, I'm not alone. I'm finally not alone. I'm with my girl, Khanya Mweli.
I'm Takabao. Listen to me with hi, Fulela Mande. Fulela Mande. Takabao.
Why do I feel velapi? Itindo yakho.
Girl, I'm so
Utheni wena
excited.
ungayithandi le podcast? Utheni wena ungekho kule YouTube channel? Utheni wena ungabafuni i-subscribers zakho? Holding you accountable.
Sanitandi that time. Sanitandi, guys. I'm back. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, welcome back to October the Podcast. We are just two Libra girls wearing pink today, navigating our 20s and trying to figure out lives. Trying to figure out our lives. Yes, sorry guys, I'm a bit nervous. I'm so used to doing this by myself.
Girl, I get that.
As you guys can see, Khanya Mweli is back, and as we guys had already explained, we're doing October the Podcast in seasons, and this season is the autumn season.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going into autumn, chasing into winter. But so yeah, this season is the autumn season. We have so much lined up. We have so many things we want to talk about. We have so many topics we want to discuss, and we're obviously bringing you guys along with. Yeah, how are you, Khanya?
Girl, I'm good. I'm good, Shem. Can't complain. Yeah.
Mental health.
Are we doing the whole mental health?
Yes, we're checking in now. We're actually starting the podcast.
So we've started the podcast. Okay, fair. Okay, Molweni, guys, actually, first of all, I'm good and I say happy to be here, finally sitting on the seat. Like, I was so excited. I remember I was talking to your sister, I was like, yo, 12 now. I've got so much to say. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm happy, man. Yeah, I can't complain. I mean, obviously, as we always say, life is life, you know.
Yes.
Of life, but overall, I'm happy. Like, I can't
So mentally, how are you? Checking in.
Yeah, mentally, I'm good. You know what? I think like there's certain things that are happening right now, which usually I like the funnel mana diago, but funny enough, and go we like. I mean, there's been certain things that have been happening in my life like over the past few months, like sort of since the beginning of the year up until sort of now. And I think we'll get into it like
as time goes.
the course of like this episode and I guess other episodes.
So it's
Yeah, but funny enough, I've been fine. Even when I was at home, like I was good.
Yeah.
Like I'm good, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm really good.
Yeah. I'm glad.
How are you?
I'm also good. And I say same old. I think my mental health is pretty good this year. And as much as like maybe there are things mentally I was struggling with, and obviously like worried about this podcast, worried about you, worried about my family, friends, just general worry things. I think I've been able to handle them very well. I think I'm at a place where I understand my mental health very well, and I'm navigating it better than I did like in the past, which I think is like a positive reaction for the people around me, because my mental health can get very very quote unquote like toxic for the people around me and on how I'm handling it. So I've been trying to better myself in that space. But more than anything, I am doesn't righty and like there's nothing you don't know. Like
Yeah, fair.
besincokola ngayo, and most of my worry was just like worried about you a little bit. Worried about other people too that I'm not gonna mention. Praying for everybody in my life basically who are going through the most. But overall, I'm good. I'm happy or whatever. You know, I'm living life. Let's take it back. From the last time we shot the episode. What happened after everything like dropped dead after the last episodes that we shot? So we went into December basically.
Okay.
So we go into December. Then what do we do in December? What do you do? What did I do in December?
Okay, so I went home beginning of December,
Yeah.
right? And then got home. So are you talking about like the holiday or in terms of the podcast?
I think just
Or
in
just-
general,
let's
like
just
your
unpack
holiday,
since
where,
I'm going,
where.
So nifuna umlash basically. Okay, fine. Let's try them problem. Last.
Ufuna ntoni ufuna i-deal breaker? Akho deal breaker aba
asinayo,
sikwazi ngena engxaki apha
No,
phakathi.
Shem.
Phofu akho ngxaki, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So okay, I left here because I remember I left here on the 6th of December. Got back home, and it was very nice, like to be back in EL. Like obviously, everybody who's been to East London or is from East London like understands.
Yo.
So it was nice. I mean, I hadn't been home in like a while.
Why I get sevens? Don't
We
understand.
danced. Yes, I forgot to put that on my notes because I was thinking, what did I do in December? What did I do?
Yeah.
And I forgot to write that down.
You
actually,
and
but
Lihako were
it-
talking about going
yes,
to
yeah,
the sevens,
yeah,
don't
the tens,
tens,
East
yeah.
London tens. It was so good.
Really
What an event! Like ngaske eyona event ngasingancanywa eMonti is that event.
fair.
What an event that event!
Yeah,
is. It was
abafana
so
bebenjani,
nice.
huh?
Asungiqala. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I just
For
arrived.
me, yeah.
Please, I just arrived. No, to be fair, like, was I even? Shem, to be fair, I don't think Bende or Londo Shem Afuna Clock. It was just genuinely a nice vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, ndizibuzela mna kaloku.
Like,
Like, what happened to that thing? Ichomi xa sibona a cute guy, but he actually
Bonele umuntu F.
a friend of mine would. Kuthiwa ngenzanga loo nto.
Nah, like I didn't really see anyone like that. But yeah, man. So what did I do? And then yeah, I was just basically at home, then like sort of going out. At first it was a little bit like uncomfortable-ish because obviously like I'm more than anymore. So yeah, but I mean obviously like it was kind of like as I'm like but at the same time I was like I just want to because I'm here, you know.
yeah,
And I also knew that I was gonna be there for like a while.
Yes.
So I was like, might as well get accustomed to like going out in East London and stuff. Yeah, that was EL. Then we had the tens. The tens was very nice. What other event did I go to? I didn't really enjoy those events. I did go to like Heatwave, but Safika late, but that's basically about it. And then
I think the only
yeah.
the only thing I did was I went to Hey Neighbor with Ukuku
Oh yes, yeah.
that was amazing. We saw all the artists that we needed. Oh, dear. Oh, come on.
Sako, yeah. Sako, yeah.
Monty. Saw a lot of people. Oh my god, I met this one guy who was just like walking by like us and just stopped in his tracks and looked at me.
Oh wow.
And then what he hey, little couple walking around. It was a festival. God has done gone. Oh, first night say dathandwa ngumlungu.
Oh, I remember you
who
told
was
me.
traveling around Africa and now he came to Hey Neighbor. Mlungu cute guys all hot njani. Oh, Lamlung was so cute, whatever. And then we were just walking around with him, drinking shots. That was my first boyfriend on Friday. Saturday, I didn't have a boyfriend. Sunday, I had another boyfriend.
And
which is-
yes, Lena.
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about. No. No,
No,
you screenshot that. Then you were like,
This That was right at the
He
end of
needs to
December.
be stopped, but okay.
Then Sunday happened, and then obviously this other guy. Oh, very nice. Look, we didn't like all these people, man. It's just guys. I was just walking around.
Yeah.
Bengekho nto, bensela nabo, ndijiva nabo, kumandi, simane sihleka loo nto uba ndine-boyfriends. Oh, that was so fun. And then after that, came back. Then I went to the Eastern Cape. And the only thing that made me go to the Eastern Cape actually was your brother's wedding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Then
So
we
funa
just
singene ke.
sesingena ke ngoku, your brother's
Sesingena.
wedding.
That was so nice.
Yes. That was so fun.
That was so nice. And I feel like you were the perfect person for me to go with. Like literally. Because I understand you when like ungumntu that's accustomed to ilali. So to just give a bit of context to like obviously our viewers is that my brother, which is Umdana Katatam, was getting married in December, but it was a traditional wedding, which was as Lalin. So I obviously had the thingy of bringing a +1, so I asked Buhle to come with me. In fact, when I told you about it, we were like, obviously, I'm
Yes,
the
I was
like, okay, period.
Don't even ask anyone else.
Exactly.
It's me.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, perfect. Like, and we went. It was nice. We got fetched by one of his friends at my house.
And we had
Lovely
so many
guy.
plans for that wedding, by the way, because we wanted to vlog.
Oh, yes. And then you could come at a walibala in
Chat.
No, the
ESD
battery
card.
Or the SD card. Oh,
didn't
was
work.
So hacked.
Oh, that
It
was
so hacked. Yeah, and then so we went to Eslalin, and then I remember I said I wanted to add this. Actually, it was my first time going to Ilalisgat since like I was a baby, and like sort of like reintroduced to like the family and all that stuff. So that was like a bit hectic. But at the same time, I was like, Anduzungai, because I mean, like my brother and I are really close. And,
Yes,
like,
yes.
lovely.
That's
So
literally what I said
knew,
to you. I was like, we're
I
just
knew I
doing it
have
for
to-
him.
for him. Like,
Yeah.
because even then, like him and I had the conversation, but like, how things are gonna be, like
Yes.
and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, like, priority like I don't care about anything else because at the end of the day, like to be fair, I've made it to like 25 without that side of things.
Yes.
So it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But like when we got there, the reception was good.
So good.
Like
Even
my
on our
aunts
way
loved
there.
you. Oh, Dabs mom.
Did they?
Yes. Remember kaloku they kept on like, because I think there was a stage where like they were sort of learning like to speak to me, so they like.
Oh
speak
yes, it comes
to
to
you,
me, be like,
ba?
oh, can you
Yeah,
write? I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
like-
right. But the thing is, I was
But they
talking
were
to
sweet,
them
Shem.
normally because I didn't know who's who.
Yeah.
So I'm just like interacting with everybody normally. And you're like, hi, can good So I'm like, oh, I had a fat chat with her.
Yeah,
they were very lovely.
It was so nice, Shem, because even when we were leaving, they were like, "Bana,
Pinde
Pinde Buye." And I'm like, "No, we'll see you guys in Feb." But anyway, get back to umchato. Okay?
Yes, yes.
What's in umchato and kebab?
Kwesi story sibaliswa ndim. Hey. Sahamba sakhwela ke emotweni nomnye umfana. Hey,
Omhle.
kungamandi.
Shout out to Ose was like, "We're gonna But yeah, so
But that was fun. Sia was like such a great drive.
Yes,
Like he
went
took
fun.
care of us
Yeah, he
very
really
well.
did, Shem.
Sissy girls,
And our chat was flowing. Like it felt like we knew each other, like because we were just like
literally
chopping it up. Yeah, we
Literally.
were chopping
Oh
it
my
up.
god, when he left the car, we both looked at each other. We're like, it's in there.
I hate us. I hate us actually. Because when he left, we're like, it's in there.
It's still early.
It's
It's
still early.
I still get out home. This is more doing. See a phambili.
I hate how my age got, to be fair. But thing is, I knew that obviously I couldn't be sort of razzle dazzling anyway, because obviously these
It's
are
your
like, my brother's
brother's-
people. Whereas for me, I was like, for you, girl, yes. So
Second-
no. So Kai mouth by people who know Koloch know Koloch.
Yeah.
In fact, Nela's got my mom so pai Koloch, but
Eh,
so they come from Ilali.
Yeah.
So it's just describe it.
Yeah, there's a lali guys basically zinolwandle. Like
Yeah.
phuma endlini, like we had ulwandle. So it's one of those very beautiful, like even on our way there was very beautiful. Fine, we get there, security girls, we're ready, we're up. Then obviously we watch a beautiful ceremony of Luto and Jen getting married. Oh, Love Jen. She looked so
my sister-in-law was
beautiful.
everything, honestly.
Luto also looked so good. Both of them looked good together. The families also standing there.
Yes, and I think like also, man, I think one thing that I really liked about like my brother's wedding was the speeches and like how Bebe Tatangai, because it was like exactly the same way like I feel about him, and like everybody sort of had this exact same thing to say about him. And I was like, this is so like sort of like it's like a testament to I mean, what was the testament or whatever the Lungu says, but.
On my feet, the underdog, and I won't be beat. Turn the lights up now, welcome to the show. I ain't never
Are you a musician?
I know. My eyes on the prize until I die. I'm gonna rise like
The Dream Stream Music Studio is now available on Sundays for only 295 rands per hour.
we work for a fall in line. We gon' give it our all until the end, until the end of time.
It includes a 12-channel desk, a variety of mics and cables, electronic drum kit, and a laptop for recording. Terms and conditions apply and booking is essential. Contact studio at dreamstream.co.za for a site visit.
Like to show Bananyani, like he's just such like a
good
sweet,
gent.
like a good guy. you know.
Yes.
So that was
yes.
nice. Then Walila Shem, that's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, well, indoda ekhalayo. That was an ick for me.
Aye,
But
aye.
anyway. Joking. Yeah. Relax.
But like,
An ick
but
for
like,
who?
but like, in the grand scheme of things, like,
No, same chat that you don't I can't.
but yeah, and then Koko obviously kwachiwa and stuff. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. Also, what I liked about the wedding. Hayi, ufuna ukungena nkathazo unqabile.
Come on, you.
But what I really liked about that wedding also was the speeches were quick.
Yeah.
The people there were, you could tell he was very specific about his people.
Yes,
He
it was
didn't
a
try to bring people in who didn't know him very well or didn't know them very well. Everyone was it was very intentional. It was such an intentional wedding. Because the ceremony was quick. What we are really here for. To celebrate.
So then what happened then?
And then we obviously
Then
started.
there was an after party, darling.
Yes.
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 Then we left and then Tafune tavern. But why didn't we end up going to a tavern?
We
We
first-
went no see.
Yeah, you guys started
We
there.
were in a different car.
Yes. Why were we separated also?
Wapapa kaloku wena. Kendimxele wapapa Buhle, because we were supposed to be in the same car. The car that we came with. But you were like, nope, let me go into guy.
Take that was off. Hold on.
Hold on.
I don't remember it like that.
Person that shall not be named.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Well,
you're
you're
never
able to
like
name
that.
Yes. Buhle. Because we were charging the phone in that. I was charging your phone in that car.
Yeah, we were charging my phone in that
yes.
car. That's why I was in that car.
Saphuma kaloku ngokuba kuyahanjwa ngoku siya tavern wena ufuna uhlala kula moto.
Aye.
Then I was like, okay, I want to make sure if you're safe. And then I did make sure. Then when I saw about you safe, and of course you're going to be safe. I mean, it's my brother's friend, so. And then
What if we go safe?
Also wabuya ngibani sezilalini up, so like they're gonna I don't know. But yeah, then we were like, we had like a sort of, not a street bash because it's not a street.
Yeah, we just drank outside.
And then
Oh, kwakumandi.
and we really had a good time.
Yeah, then the next day.
That was the day we were gonna leave. But
Yes,
late.
yes.
Then woke up, same thing.
Oh
like,
my
Sarah,
God.
ate meat.
Yes.
Chatted.
Can I say something about the following day?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my part about the following day.
Okay.
So I woke up and I was like, okay, cool, I'm not gonna drink because my mom needed to fetch me Ubi Park Landau, also don't know in Landau, mom. Yeah, with Kai Bridge.
It's Kai Bridge, yes, where there's a shell.
Yes. So when I call my mom, I'm like, okay, cool. What time do you guys think is our figure pie? My mom is like, we're still Islalin. So like in my head, I'm estimating. I'm like, yo, Abba gonna be another 2 hours. Like, go my ass, don't let me open my throat.
Yo, and why vula, babe?
And that was my mistake.
Why vula, babe?
Da vula ithroat lam andasela
And vula, like yo, vula ithroat nabantu aba ungovernable.
You And
because Sana,
they were
it
egging
was a
me
mess.
on. They were like, no, drink more.
Sela mntasekhaya.
And this is a drop off up yakhona.
You?
But wena sela.
I'm telling you.
Just said that I feel like mama ndingamncile.
I remember like, she was even yelling on the phone because I had to speak to her because like she was yelling at you. But I'm trying to contain the situation, but Sana, you could even like barely speak, but at least you got this say.
Yeah, but I don't know what was going on. Like I was conscious enough to realize, but this is an emergency and I need to do this and all these things.
Lindy, that's a
But
problem. They were waiting.
The problem, I tell
Yeah, and then what happened? Nah?
yeah,
But that was fun. Oh, we forgot. Remember we said we want to talk about that girl. Yes, I know.
She's up next.
Amantombazana kodwa nawo sometimes really kodwa funeka
where's the journey that girl? Kayibalisa kulindibalisa.
So kaloku kule girl siyafika mos at the wedding, obviously looking cute, whatever. Not that ke nabanye abantwana bengalookishi cute shem, they were. Sifike.
They actually
But
looked
in terms of
amazing.
Look at that. Man, balisa kule camera yam. So, sifike. So, sifike ke emtshatweni ne fine. So we got there a little bit like late-ish and whatever, and also we got there like the day of the wedding.
Yes.
So people had gotten there before. Let's figure the first goal that we hey.
Cool.
Hey,
Specifically.
But anyway, there was this girl who didn't know. Okay, that was acting too weird towards us.
Okay,
right?
so we just felt like she wasn't welcoming.
She wasn't welcoming, not understanding our affiliation with the family.
Yeah, and it almost
what I'm saying?
yes, and it almost felt like, and I'm not saying maybe that's what she was doing.
Bafuna
ntoni apha?
Sichatile.
Abantu
Abantu bethu belapha.
Nabona ondatshaza bangaringi. Ento sileyo. Nazi host for the night.
Bafika bavule imiqala apha. Bayasela abantwana.
And akho kwana sifunayo kwaba bantu.
Mind you, Tina, like Buhle and I literally, we were there to have a good time. Like we didn't care. You know what I mean? So this honey man was just really being like weird towards us. So
and most of the girls were being weird.
They were like,
yes.
I don't want to say necessarily weird. They were just a little bit distant, which is fine because we don't know each other like
fair.
that. But specifically her, ebena element yobu fanana towards us, and especially because like goyena bes introduced we to
yes.
Whereas abanye they understand it because we never really like
Bafika sesikhona.
Kaloku sifike bekhona ne.
Oh, yes,
But ilanto bana khakuwenza we like an introduction. Okay, nguzibani. Whereas with her, it's different because there was that. But this is her name. This is like her name. Do you get what I'm saying? But she was like being like a little bit odd towards us. So the next morning, she now like we sitting outside Seattle and whatever, and then she makes this comment. She's like,
okay.
She looks at me and she's like,
Wait. Before you say that, I also want to draw up a picture to make you guys. So now, because everyone is distant, and obviously this girl is evidently weird towards us, and she seems very close with the other people who are not quote unquote welcoming. I'm not saying that's what they were trying to do, but that's what the energy that we got. So now the guys were more inviting and more involving of us. So we gravitated towards the guys.
And that looks odd.
It looks already, because we're such girl, and we really wanted to hang out with the girls.
Yeah.
And so much so, it was just the two of us most of the time, or sis fossa within the guys, until the guys like let us into
Like,
whatever situation that they were doing. So now it also paints a picture to them. Ingati Tina, sihleli ne boys, and this is Ketty. But this is Ketty because the circumstance.
But even outside of the circumstances, and I know this is gonna sound like a bit problematic and a bit like sort of not pick me-ish or whatever. But if Tina Umdu's hang out with the two of us, they know that we can hang out with guys. Because like I can't expect like standing scene, Marcel. Do you get what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna
discuss feminism.
Yes, of course. We're not saying that my space must be problematic. Of course,
we're not going to allow problematic conversations. Yes,
of course. but we know that we can hang out with guys. I feel
Yeah.
like, and I've even said this like last year in one of our episodes. I said I can chill with guys, like
Yeah.
and be happy, like ibe mhlambe ndim ndethu ntombazana.
Yeah.
And kuhleko because it's hilarious, especially closer men. Closer men are flipping hilarious.
Yeah.
So of course we were gonna gel with the niggas.
Yeah.
And also on top of that, Cesare via a brother, not a
Yes.
sister.
Yes.
So there's also
Yes.
that. Yeah,
I
bo?
think so. Yeah. I
So,
think.
okay,
Yeah. Then
yeah.
the next morning,
Back the
Alisa-
next morning, baby girl, I a comment. Ati yeah.
Yim.
Was
Also
it
to add Yim. Also because I need the context in the comment. I need a yarn. Also, now after Sibali the story about we went out drinking. So we were drinking the whole night. I need to take kwasa till Ixen. And then we probably went to go sleep probably around like 6, 7. And nokulala be more than anything. Ku celebrate umtshato. And that was the energy. Everyone was like, semtshatweni
Umnandi,
umnandi.
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I cannot interrupt.
Because someone, wait, oh my God, I remember someone was like, guys, man, babalaza. Then I think someone was like, oh, babalaza. I was like, no, this is scary.
Nah, you love to watch it.
Like, I was like, oh my God. Like, whoa, guys.
And what to go on? Sala wena. Go babalaza. Semtshatweni
I said, whoa, guys. Like, isn't that a bit excessive? Like, damn.
What to go on? No, complain about babalaza. Go babalaza. Semtshatweni.
Okay, yes. So the comment she made, and we're like, and the problem is, guys, if there's one thing, I don't want to really attribute this to just girls. So, but I'll just speak about girls because you know, as a man, you can sense it getting energy off.
Yeah.
And such a sense of vibes like, but unendo is off. Then when she opened her mouth, we're like, yeah, sakbam.
Yeah, sakbam.
Sakbamba. But
Because
I'm done.
August Nigi energy
Oh, I
combat. We have nothing against her.
Eh,
But she finally said something. We're like,
We're
got
like,
it.
Got it.
Yeah.
She was like, oh. So you guys were the ones that were
You guys were the ones up until partying until 5 o'clock
in the morning. Usho ukuthi sedwa.
Utsho ukuthi
Thina khalisa umculo sedwa sasela sedwa sobayi-2. Yaqonda
indoda yakho ibiphaya Jona.
your husband was there. Baby, your husband was there. Uthi ungamnqandi. Thetha naye. Girl, I'm single. That sounds a little bit wrong.
No, that's it.
And Mntanabantu, okay, to put out the Mntanabantu to your husband didn't plead us.
Didn't do anything.
We actually never spoke ever.
Ubuzathi.
Exactly.
No.
Utumfasba sifuna umuntu wakhe nomuntu wakhe mhlawumbe uyasifuna.
No.
Because okay, I'm actually gonna say dissect after I say this one point. After she said silalelani.
Asifuna naye too. Asifuna ulala naye, asifuna nomuntu wakhe, sifuna uvuka. Sisele namakhwenkwe. Nawe lo makhwenkwe angastart angasenzi into sihlala nabo nje.
You know what I mean?
Fair.
And then also, secondly, she made another comment at Komba usile ke ngoku.
Usile
Wathi, because that day was okay, we woke up, sahlamba, we ate, and then kwasero. Then she made that
remember what
comment,
she
the first comment. Fine.
Remember what she said.
So that's obviously, you know, man, when you've been drinking and whatever, you look tired. You know what I'm saying? Like you look, yeah, oh, I put that up kind of thing. Then she looks at me and she's like, yo, you look tired, hey? Or something like, what? You look what?
What?
What's why? You look
Oh,
tired.
you guys
But
look so tired.
Eh, but uchong kala era yo bana bani babi. That chicken that chong bush that you look like we are jello. No, because it was like you act like as a girl's jello yo. No, she really pisses me off because she's
you also look different without makeup.
That's another chat that we didn't have.
Because
it's giving- You look hella different without makeup, but that's a story for another day.
You look tired.
You look tired.
And you slept.
And you slept, baby. Baby, you slept. So in fact, umntu bethunana also guys olotyolweyo. Ngafocus kweza nkomo. Siphako kwabo. Aseke thina bantu.
Singena ngomo.
Singenazinkomo. No, genuinely, because I'm just chilling, bro. Like I'm hella chilling.
Nah, that lady was being so rude. I know she was being rude.
The
Because
lady.
I know she was being rude because even one of her friends started warming up to us.
Yes, the
because
one
she
girl.
realized, man,
Konde off.
Konde off up. And now she also started being nice, and we're like, oh, okay.
We share me.
Okay,
Yeah.
nisenza abantu ababi. And I hate that. Lady, saniyenza lonto.
Sometimes a land of
for real.
also like uzigqibele bayithini into because now it's a thing of like uyageza kodwa kusekhaya apha.
Yeah.
That's now the chat now.
The
because
chat.
You don't know that actually this is my father's house.
Yeah.
But
that
now
is the chat now. Because
usegezile, ugqibile ugeza.
that was my annoyance also with everybody else who started being quote unquote okay with us because they finally knew the relationship of why we're there. But in my head, I'm like, couldn't you just treat everybody the same without having to know the relation of what's going on here?
Because at the end of the day, this is guests, bro. Like,
and the thing is, me and Khanya were willing to let that thing go, like, this is Aishega or whatnot. But those comments that were said the next day about us, it just painted a weird picture about us, and we never came in there to do that.
Yeah.
And I remember me and Khanya had, as much as like, yes, we're having this banter about, oh, boys, busy con or whatever.
Need a photo studio? The Dream Stream Photo Studio includes a 2.7 meter PVC backdrop in black and white and is available for only 115 rands per hour. You can also rent a Canon R6 and lights. All rentals are for studio use only. Terms and conditions apply. Contact studio at dreamstream.co.za.
Thank you, Ben, for coming out tonight. My name is Son of Augustine. Let's go.
But we had a chat before. We were like, that's your brother's wedding. Like, we need to behave. Like, we need to just, not that we never not behave, but we just understood the environment that we were in and how we need to act. So yeah, that was the wedding. But even later, maybe man.
But yeah, just a little bit of rest. But it was actually so much fun. And man, that was that.
And then we went our
else?
separate ways. I went to Cape Town. Then I went to Bacardi. And then they went a mistake. One. Ugh, Bacardi. Yeah. And then after Bacardi, that was the end of December. Then we rolled into January, and then the year started.
Oh, the year started. Then I guess what happened? Like what? What were you doing in Jan?
I just started my year. I told myself that I'm not gonna drink for a while. I started with 75 days of not drinking, which has obviously progressed till now, which has been amazing. Then obviously in my fitness gym, especially now that I'm not drinking. So I did a lot of that. And then I just started my year like everybody else, where to like cleaning my place, getting ready, and then obviously having conversations with you about the podcast and knowing like everything else that was going on. And then I generally just started like my own projects, like on my own personal like YouTube channel, and then like just continued being consistent with creating content because I had been gone for a while and I felt like I was mentally ready, mentally stable, and in a better place to like be consistent with creating content in my own personal capacity. Because the only thing I was doing last year, and which I was very happy to do, was this podcast. Like this podcast was the gateway of getting me comfortable to creating content again. And also, Mdase, just to give you a little bit of credit, like now we're like constantly talking to you and you saying, "Ba, I don't care, your confidence in that, like, gave me the confidence to come back to create content." Because I was like, actually, why do I care so much, like, of what people say about me? And I realized the thing that was holding me back with creating content on my own personal channels and all these things was that, but I cared so much about how I'm going to be perceived and what people were saying about me, because those were the effects of my breakup.
I get
And people had a lot to say about that. And even after the breakup, people had a lot of opinions. And for the first time ever, I just didn't want people to have opinions about me. Like, because I was like, you don't know my life.
Yeah.
So by doing October the podcast, coming here, like chatting, just opened up a whole new vault in me of remembering that I enjoy like creating content. So that's what I try to pursue like a lot beginning of the year, and also other personal goals that I don't want to share with anyone right now in my private life. And then I just focused on that, and yeah, now I'm here. And you?
Ooh, girl, January was such a tough month for me, if you remember. Like, I know, like, January and February, because it was, like, had all of these ideas in my head, like, how I want to start my year, and things didn't come into fruition because of, like, drama that you know of, that right now I feel like we don't have time to go into, but for once in my life, like, okay.
That's it. We can go over time. That's just a counter to let us know how
I'm
long we've
seeing.
been.
That's not that. Like,
Okay.
like, and I feel
Yeah.
like this year, actually, side note, I actually want to open up more about, like, uboma. As much as, yes, I have shared quite a bit, but I actually want to, like, share more.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
also I feel like this is, like, it's like a healing activity for me.
Yes.
And there's certain things, like, that I've really, like, obviously kept quiet about, that have happened or have been happening where I'm like, don't you really want to talk about it? Like, like, I don't want people to know me like that.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I want to talk about it. So those particular things that were happening, those were the things that were hindering me from, like, being able to come back to Joburg and just everything that I had planned for myself.
Yeah,
and whatever.
yeah.
And it was really devastating. If you remember, like, when we
Yes.
used to have calls, like, honestly, guys, like, we had so many plans for the podcast, like, as unyaka eqala, and then, like, we'd call each other, like, crying. Literally, like, Buhle sometimes we'll speak and we'll cry, and she'll be like, Ndasa, can I call you back? Because, like Zawutina, she wants to, like, be in her own space and cry it out, like, alone, you know what I mean? Because, like, we'd spend, like, there were times where we'd, like, talk to each other on the phone, and, like, kunzima no tete, 'cause, like,
Yeah,
we're
we're just
so
crying, yeah.
broken, like, we were so broken.
Even
like, during
Goku
that
is
time.
emotional.
But now I'm denying that, but I'm actually holding it in because
I'm trying to take pictures.
I'm trying to hold it in because I'm like, we're here, and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think, like,
Yeah.
oh, now you're making me emotional. It's like, it's such a, like, a blessing for me to, like, literally be sitting here right now. Like, it's crazy. Like, obviously it's happened. And I'm me crying.
We're
But-
taking pictures after this. Don't do that.
Oh yeah. And it happening, like, obviously, like, 4 months later, you know, and we wanted so much for us,
Fair.
like, from January, February, but the minute, like, you and I made the decision, actually, but you know what? Like, let me stop stressing about coming back and everything and
Let's
everything.
talk about
Then
that.
because what happened then was that you and I were focusing on being colleagues instead
Then
of
being
our friendship. And, like, it was really, like, breaking us, you know, because every time, like, you know, like, I'd tell you about something, like, we'd worry, number one, about, obviously you were always worried about me, but now you'd always want to, like, find solutions or whatever to make
Yes.
things better and for us
Yeah.
to carry on with the podcast. And now our friendship was slacking because sometimes I'd want to open up to you about something because you're my friend, and
Yeah.
I just want to cry to you and not for you to, like, want to solve it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yes.
Yeah.
So the minute we literally said, we made the decision, we're like, okay, you know what?
I was
Let's pause it.
awesome to say, yes. Actually, let's talk about that. Actually, I want us to talk about that.
Yeah.
I was actually very frustrated with myself also in that situation because of the podcast, like, my brain constantly went into solution base.
Yeah.
And I constantly would beat myself after our conversations, and I was like, that's not what she needed, because she needed someone to sit there and talk to her about. But my thinking process with all of that,
I'm gonna cry again.
I was like, I know the podcast is something very positive in your life right now.
Yeah.
And for me, to solve what you're going through is to have you have this thing.
Have this thing.
This
and
one
I want to
positive
take
thing.
it away from me.
What?
And they are trying so bad to take it away.
That was my thing, because I was like, you know what? And that's how life works. People, you have a vision, you have a goal for yourself, and maybe someone else doesn't see it now until it's in fruition, until they can see, but okay, cool, like,
Yeah.
and for me, I just felt like they weren't seeing, like, what we were seeing
The
about
importance.
the importance it is to you and to me about this podcast.
Yeah.
And what we're doing. And it also felt like they weren't taking the time to try to.
They weren't at all. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. Every time Khanya calls me, I need to have a solution on how I can give her this thing.
Yeah.
And when you called me and you said, Dase, I need you to stop being my colleague. And I need you to be my friend again. I said, it also took a weight off me.
Yes, of course.
Because
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I can
Finally.
And within that, I don't want to lie, that's where the solution got resolved.
Yeah.
Because we were like in such a survival
mode of what can we do to
Yeah.
like, get, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, get to the podcast and whatever.
Yeah.
And also, you know what, for me, I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, like, I still need to remember Bantu. And
Yes.
Tiko, like, says, Bana, like, he will make a way. You know,
Yes.
when the time is right.
I know the
like,
plans I have for
yes,
you.
exactly. And when the time
Not
is
to
right, like, the
harm
Lord will
you.
make it happen. You know what I mean? So that literally made me like stop in my tracks, and I was like, you know what? You're trying so hard, and Nobucha's trying so hard for this thing to happen. But at the end of the day, like, if Utiko is saying not now, then it means not
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And literally, dude, like, after we made that decision, like, nam kwati home, we had a better relationship after that. Like, all the time now, it would be thing of like, we calling each other to laugh. Because we speak
Yes.
basically, like, people would be shocked. We actually, it's crazy. We call each other basically like every day. It's embarrassing. It's actually
giving
embarrassing. It's giving codependent.
desperate.
Yeah, it's giving get alive. Like, literally. Because literally, man, but you know, we call each other for like just movement. Hey, I said F so believe it.
Okay,
Literally.
jog TikTok ngo.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically, and then we could, like, you know, sort of develop like that relationship again that we had, you know. And it was
Yes.
like obviously so much nice. And also what was nice was the different worlds that we were in. Because I'm an Eastern, so I get F. Now nobody's Chopek, you know, this is like the life I'm living. So
Yeah.
that was a nice like thing of
Yeah.
we're really living different lives.
Yes.
And yeah, and then that Felicia free as well to like have fun in East London. Because when I was going out, yes, I was going out, but I was having fun, but it was like
Guilt.
like, you know, the air. But then I was like, actually no, man can enjoy. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
was going, when I say I was going out, baby, I was going out.
As you
And I had a
should.
good time. Yeah, I had a good time. Bumped into a lot of like old friends, etc., etc., etc. It was just made new friends. I mean, no, Ayanda.
Yes.
Okay, I'd already made friends with her in January, but get still, you know. So yeah, that was.
I also feel like that was important for you to remove the colleague aspect to it, which is fine for it to come play once in a while because we share this project
Yes, of
together.
course, yeah.
But you were right in the sense of like, okay, kawuye kuba colleague, could be a friend, because this whole podcast, the beauty of it is our friendship.
Yes,
It's
of
the
course,
fact that
yeah.
we can talk, and I felt like a lot of that was being stolen away because now we were too worried about ingaki and not worried about us being friends.
Yeah.
And that's where the storytelling and us coming to sit on this couch comes from.
Yeah.
Ungokola on the phone, catching up, so that when we know, we go into the podcast. And that's exactly what happened, because once we started talking as friends, like, episodes started appearing,
but
actually,
yeah,
like,
yeah, we
and
should
it's
discuss it.
stagnant. Go again, trying to find a solution and all. And I remember being like, "Hey, and yes, banza tinko October the podcast, because mna no Khanya jongene nale ngxaki
Nengxaki
one,
one, yeah.
and ayikho enye into sithetha ngayo." And I saw the beauty in that of us allowing that to happen and finally realizing that actually we need to do this thing in season, because
Yes.
it allows us to grow. It allows us to also like explore the world, and because like we always say here, we're navigating our 20s.
Yes.
And we can't come here and say we're navigating our 20s if we're not living our
20s, yeah.
And we're constantly worried. And I was like, yes, like, go out there, do your thing, figure out the world. I'll also figure out the world. We'll come back together, sit on this damn green couch or gray, whatever, however we're sitting that day, and talk about these things. Because, like, that's exactly what this podcast is about to me in my head. Yeah.
No, does it. But also, I think another thing is that, like, I also don't want you to sort of like beat yourself up about like being sort of solution based at that time.
Fair.
Because like I didn't take it not offensively, but I didn't take it as like solutions, because I know that you strike a very good balance of being solution based, but also being a friend. But I think because of that situation at hand at that time, you also went into like sort of la mode, yobana, we need to like come up with a plan, you know. And if there's one thing I know about you as my friend is that I don't want to cry again, but like if there's one thing about you that's like damn, like when you will take like ingxaki yomntu and uyilayishe emqolo, like you that kind of person. Damn. So you that kind of person. So even during that time, like you literally assumed that role, but you just like ingxaki yomntu like uyenze yakho, and that's what was happening during that time, you know. And I feel like that's like it was perfect for us then to like move from the mode of trying to solve like this issue of mine, and just like, you know what, be like, let's put this thing on pause because nansi into esichithayo yile nansi le nto isichitha mntase. So okay, iyasichitha, maske ime, and maske focus kuthi. And I think another thing was like, let's focus on our mental health. Bana, you know what, in order for thina sibe righty, nansi le nto isichithayo mayikhabe isima. You know what I mean? Yes, of course we love this thing. It's a passion project for both of us, but we were like, let's come up with different plans.
Yeah, October the podcast is not our friendship.
It's not our friendship.
It's what our friendship represents.
It's a JAB. It's a job.
It's a job. We don't need to be here. We can leave the next day.
You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what I mean? And obviously we were broken, like we really want to do this, but and also secondly, then we were like, okay, we can actually come up with different solutions. But okay, it's a sucky situation, but I can't be there, but you can be. You know what I mean? Like, you can hold it down in the meantime. And for me, that was another thing where I remember even saying to you, but I'm so grateful for you, like, you know, holding it down while I wasn't here, because at the end of the day, I can understand that that's not easy. You know what I mean?
It wasn't.
And also, like, now we're like, anxiety zako, so having to sort of like hold the fort with, like, let's say a different guest or like abanye abantu, because I know at some stage it was you, Chabu, and creative control, but I mean, like, you know, that went well and whatever. So like obviously I'm very happy that
on my feet, the underdog, and I won't be beat. Turn the lights up now, welcome to the show. I ain't never
Are you a musician?
I know. My eyes on the prize until I die. I'm gonna rise like
The Dreamstream Music Studio is now available on Sundays for only 295 rands per hour.
we work for a fall in line. We gon' give it all until the end of time.
It includes a 12-channel desk, a variety of mics and cables, electronic drum kit, and a laptop for recording. Terms and conditions apply, and booking is essential. Contact studio at dreamstream.co.za for a site visit.
you're that kind of person to work with and as a friend.
Thank you so much, Ndase. I love that for me. No, you know what, Ne? I was more than happy to do it because like I said, you had brought out that part of me of like wanting to create content again, and I was very grateful for you playing that role in my life. Yes, obviously, like I will give myself credit. I made sure I put myself out there, but like the pushing of it generally came from you, and I was more than happy to hold down the fort. But now I was afraid that the show was starting to look like what it's not, where it's like guest based. And we know what we want the vision of this podcast to look like. So I was like, okay, cool, I might do this for a month or so or a couple of episodes or so, but it's not a sustainable thing to do. Maybe it's sustainable when we were doing it and how we want to do it now, but I was like, no. This is October the podcast, 2 Libras, not 1, 2 Libras. And this project exists with us together. Yes, sometimes there will be episodes where maybe I'm not around and I'm sick and the show must go on, and you are not around and I'm sick, and that's what eventually happened. And I did want the podcast to exist without one of us. Like, I want the podcast to be able to exist with at least one of us being there, but not for long periods of time, like the way it was looking like it was going.
and people were asking questions.
Yes. Oh, Nkoma, it's not my place to
Mandase,
answer.
Mandase
Like,
Khaya.
and I'm also maintaining a friendship here. As much as
Yeah.
like this is work, but there's a big friendship that I care about that matters here. Ba my pele le kaka podcast, my pele.
Fire to
That joke. But that's literally what I was thinking. I was like, Khanya matters more than me having to answer these people.
yeah.
So when we came up with the solution of like, let's do it in seasons, I was so happy to do that because I didn't want it to be the Buhle show, because that's not what it is. And now when I was doing those episodes, it was starting to feel like that. But oh no, it's the Buhle show. No, it's not. It's the Buhle and Khanya show, and then Kengoko and others. So yeah, when I remember how I felt when we were like, actually seasons.
And we're like,
Seasons.
yeah.
We're like, yeah.
And then we put out the statement, and it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I cried a bit though, because it was like, damn. Like, ew. Stop that. But I mean, no, but because knowing me,
Yeah.
But obviously I understood, especially even when you, like, the video came out, I cried. I was like, ew. But you know what I mean? Like, I obviously understood that it was something that needed to be done. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, I'm but get happy to be here.
Happy. I'm also happy that you're here. Like, and I'm also so glad like you arrived and we gave ourselves like a couple of days just to marinate in the idea before jumping into the process of actually shooting. So what are you looking forward to in this season? What are people going to be looking forward to? Zitini's door. Zitini, one of the kids saying, I'll say life updates. What's new? What's
In
different?
my life.
Besides me being like skinny now.
Hey, Betuna. Talk about skinny legend. Actually, I'm talking about this tandem myself. But I'm
You look great.
So
What?
proud of you, though, Shem.
Thank
on
you,
that,
thank
in
you,
that,
thank
in that
you.
regard.
Ah,
Good
that's
time,
it.
and situ bafnandi icho. Talk about ungathi you like uyamonela. Yanazi kaloku nina ngochitha izinto. Yeah, Shem, no, you look
Your relationship
good.
yami
Her body
nini.
tea.
Jokes.
You know, yeah, so what's new in my life? What's new, to be fair? Nothing much, honestly. Like, I'm just really trying my best to, you know.
And that's enough.
And that's enough, babe. Like,
And
that's really
and that's
enough.
enough.
Yeah.
And that's
And
enough.
then what has happened, Nam? Oh, I remember I was telling you about, like, this guy that I was, like, sort of seeing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, but I'm a daughter. But would it be an episode if we didn't talk about my daughter? Oh, babe. So the story is, I'll try and not make it long because it is a bit long. But so what had happened was, I was seeing this guy, if we could even say I was seeing, just for like a few weeks and whatever. And obviously he pursued me, right? And how we met is that we were in we tabu chill don't way too. But it was one of those where like I don't know, I can't explain it. Like, not even purposefully, like it was just like whatever. kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then like a few days later, like I got a call from his number, and we had only interacted like once. But
Did
like,
you
I was
ever
a bit-
find out who gave him your number?
No.
Because
That-
that's actually quite
That's
rude.
it's a bit like, and he claims that I gave him my number because there was a stage where we spoke, right? And it was- but the problem is we were speaking there, and he was like trying to order pizza. So I'm like, okay, there's going to do part of the conversation to be a pizza, but the thing is, giving him my number though, baby, I remember that. So now I get fine. Then calls me, whatever. Long story short, we go on like a drink date and whatever. Cool, no problem. Drink date was nice. And then after that, when did we see each other again? Kanenena? Okay, so let's drink date ne. It was like, okay, like him. And also when he fetched me from my house, I remember entering the car and I was like, you're looking cuter than I remember.
Why didn't I give you attention
You
again?
smell good. Hey, well, your car cute. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes, born.
yes, born
Yes, born up.
era. You know
Yes,
what I
born.
mean?
Yeah.
And the drink stage was lovely. Like, you know what I mean? They tend to like comfort and make it comfortable. So yeah, and then into lento. Then we saw each other again, which was when Ganen. Oh, he travels a lot for work. Ne?
Yeah.
Fine. And then we saw each other again. Recently, man. But anyway, whatever. So we talk on the phone, right? But now, he says to me, Bana, he once sent a message this one day, and he's like, he's not always on WhatsApp, so he'll call me like sometime during the week. So I'm like, okay, cool. Obviously, I just met this nigga, so I'm like, okay, I can't be 10, you know what I mean? Fine, yana phone again the next week, and then I miss his call. So I speak to Ayanda. Ayanda, context guys, is one of my friends. So I speak to Ayanda, and I'm like, hey, Mdase, like, this nigga, right? And I don't know if I should text him and be like, I saw your missed call, because he hasn't said anything but like, oh, I tried to call you, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
I get you.
Yes. And the problem is for me, I'm the type that if they say call yako, sakuvula a bit. Because like, the thing is, hear me out.
Yeah. Das.
Hear me out.
Oh, wena ukhohla ke. Uthi ufuna ujola kodwa wenza into ezifana.
Man, no, that's it. But he's pursuing me, right? Guys, actually, this story kind of Spain, and then let me know, like in the comments, Bana, was I wrong or not?
Okay.
So he's pursuing me, right? Right. So if you try to call me, right, and I couldn't call him back because I didn't have airtime.
Okay.
Ne? It's not there. Second of all, if you try to call me and deposit call right? I think it's only normal for you to text me and be like, oh,
I tried to
call you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And already, I think another thing, bendina element yombalaga edolweni, to be fair.
Okay.
Simply because of things that I saw kwakla dates that
Oh,
drinks table. I was
yeah,
like,
be strict.
show man gaw na into ebu ewe. So that
Red
that
flag, orange
bu-
flag.
bu stiktanyana bu funu testa bu
Who interview and interview.
interviewer. Yeah, ibona lanto. So
Trial run.
Of which the interview,
Yeah.
but not gomlom.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Fine. So he doesn't do that. Exactly.
Ngezenzo, not ngomlomo.
IKF. So now, the text and the phone with Ayanda ne. Ayanda ke, one thing I like about being friends with, I said this to you, being friends with you and being friends with Ayanda is that, like, with you, I know you're gonna give me ezangcingazam. But the nice thing with Ayanda's very soft. So sometimes she can like rope me in and be like, F. Like, you know, I mean, you can also do that.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, to be fair, like you and I
I'm
think
agreeing with
this,
you.
You like, because it's fun.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So I do need that friend that's gonna balance me, but I'm that's you being a bit harsh. You know what I mean? And she's that friend. So the phone and I was like, I'm that's it. Text uchbana like I saw your missed call, whatever, fine. Poor for long, I text him that's it. We text like on WhatsApp. We text like he's very formal. Like very formal. No emojis, no nothing, and then text to HR. Cool. So I send a message, oh, sorry, missed your call, whatever, but I'm free now if you'd like to call. As open the next morning. At bana, hey, because at bana, he was just keeping up with his commitment by bezan phone.
Ungathi ube commitment.
Tabanjwa ngila kama lithi commitment. Because I was like, why indeed commitment?
Schedule.
Why?
Udlulile lokho schedule sakho wena. Next week
You're up. Fine, F ngabkhonto. Okay, I know it lento. Depending on ngohlobo oluthile uze ndifonele when then what you were a bit strict. Like okay, namke yes of course I do understand nam dinento zam, right? Where I need to get called out on and be like, F, strict, you know what I mean? And you said that. And I genuinely felt bad. I was like, actually, Nyanshem, I feel like I was a bit strict, you know what I mean? Because my response to him was a little bit like HR abangu HR. Fine, sayiyeka leyo. Then I think like a week later, the weekend of that week when he called me, because I think phone like a number yasemonto, it's an office phone, and there's my office phone. Yeah,
I was schedule nyani.
So
like office phones.
Hi son,
You in the diary. Khanya at 9 o'clock. Thanks. Pursuing brackets. Pursuing her.
Wow.
Asiphe next 5.
Mfazi.
Potential and 2.
Sign. Bese ke Netflix ayo akasana 27 ke lo msila ngaya. You swear ngutata omdala.
Strict lo mfana esemncane.
Emncinci awuvuka. Ayike my F. Fine.
Amadoda asemonto azithatha serious.
Sana. So now, comes the weekend of that, ne? So I'm out with my friends and whatever, fine, whatever. No man, with my with like abantwana basekhaya man, Nikita and all of them.
Abantwana basekhaya.
Basile.
Abantwana.
Yeah. So anyway, so now I call him, like drunk call kind of thing. Bye, man.
Oh,
Didn't know I
miss you.
Whatever. And then azophendula. I go voicemail, right? Then the next day, I call him on WhatsApp because I'm like, oh, fudge, like maybe he saw those calls, so let me call him again. Shame, he sounds excited to hear from me and whatever, and he's like, he's going somewhere with his mates and whatever, like he'd come pick us up, and like it's a mutual friend's birthday party, so it's whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. But he's like, go out, and then when you're out, just tell me where you are and I'll come there.
Fair.
But then because we had been drinking that whole day and whatever, by the time I was like, ugh. Don't really feel like
Oh, but
so I texted him, I'm like, you know what, actually I decided banza ulala and whatever. Then the next morning, he had sent a message like he'd like to come pick me up and then like he'll drop me off either like in the AMs or like the next day. So obviously Nandi bona late and whatever. And then long story short, on the Monday, then he comes to pick me up. Then he comes to pick me up. Okay, cool. Oh, okay. Comes to pick me up, go to his place, like, we chill, play games, whatever. Then go drops me back off at home later on in the evening. As we go to Safika ngasendlini. To his place. I bring up chat when when I talk to you, to now like only once a week.
Hayi.
Qonda.
Akakufuni mos.
Qonda. Odd, but okay.
When you like someone, you don't want to talk to them
Like-
once a week.
So I bring up talking to me once a week. Okay. Now my irritation is that like Sifike, okay, we have a good time, whatever. Now he's coming to drop me off at home. On the way home, I bring it up and does and literally
Need a photo studio? The Dream Stream Photo Studio includes a 2.7-meter PVC backdrop in black and white and is available for only 115 rands per hour. You can also rent a Canon R6 and lights. All rentals are for studio use only. Terms and conditions apply. Contact studio at dreamstream.co.za.
Thank you, Ben, for coming out tonight. My name is Son of Augustine.
sesawufika like ngasendlini. Hello.
Not controlling you necessarily, but controlling the environment.
The environment
and how
of
he wants
how
the
we
things
must
to
operate
go.
things. Yes. Because now I wanted to speak about it, ne? And I tried to speak about it a little bit, and then he's laughing and he's like, oh, okay, do you want us like to speak more? Do you know what I mean? But then it's like,
Ingathi you're begging for
Yes.
his attention.
and I'm thinking, my nigga in Christ. Oh my dear.
You don't know who you're dealing with.
Yin. Not me.
No,
Maybe your other little girls, but not me.
your other schedules.
Your other schedules.
but this schedule?
or Asipe wife. or Asipe wife.
Oh, Leah, wife. Oh, Asibe, wife. Bona.
Khanya pursuing. Not yen. I said, so now I'm thinking to myself, like, okay. I tell London, didn't say that. He says I would like sort of say something, but
Yeah.
no, actually, like I feel like I thought to myself, I'm almost getting home, and so now it's gonna number one look like like he needs to go because
Yeah,
number one.
yeah.
Secondly, it's also like we just sort of started this thing of ours, so now I look like I'm the needy, beggy girl who's a
Fair.
nag.
Yeah.
And also, thirdly, there's that thing of mana kwamna like communicate and I hate ugezeleka.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now it's gonna give like mana there's fostered by manthethe kodwa ndikhaleli because mna into endifuna ukwenza yona ngaske ndikughost. Ndasekhaya. Cha kuba zitshomi zam. Otherwise, lyrics I spoke to Nikita, but I spoke to you, I spoke to Ayanda. And you guys also nina abantu benqomayo mntase wethu give it a chance. If we're up to me mna, I think after that date mna. Okay, not after that date. Because Ben said,
Don't you dare tell ngam
I
kanjalo.
tried to-
After that date ndathi kuwe
what by unayo into ebunga finishing
and I'm finishing ngam lo mfana and he's giving me that Zulu guy vibes.
babe.
That's bana. Actually,
Babe.
I don't think this is gonna work. But because you're saying like you like him and there's like and sometimes you just need to go on 2-3 other
and
dates
see like
and let him
what's
cook
happening,
a
let
little
him
bit.
cook,
But
you
then
know what I
after
mean?
that I was like, this is not
Because then
gonna
there's
work.
zayenza la mhlawumbe umuntu nervous uyabhuda.
Ewe.
Yeah, ayike san. Ayike fine now.
Inerts. Siyenza ke la.
So singathethi ne fine. Ndingayithethi nqoma ndivent it you know what, let's just last it. Diphume emotweni go. Like and I'm cool like sixabelanga emotweni. So ndibalisela unikita zakhe amdase. Zincame express this thing to this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that at least if anything were to happen, at least you have expressed it.
Yeah, that's yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But now I'm like, and I can't call him because he just dropped me off. That's silly. Secondly, you know how I feel about messages. I don't
Yes,
like texting, guys.
yeah.
Honestly, I think girls, like, if you still send paragraphs or like it text expressing your feelings, stop that. And that's it. Like, I'm that's a guy. Hi, guys. Money up. Puma up. What do you mean? I just hate it, man. It's giving loser energy. It's giving you aren't expressing yourself properly.
Yes.
It's giving umdala for this. Have a conversation like a grown ass woman.
Yeah. I said
You know
I
what I mean?
remember sending a paragraph to that Zulu guy watching. Okay, cool. That's it.
Like, bro.
Oh, damn.
I really don't.
Nah, I don't send paragraphs anymore. But that used to be my speedy on.
Everybody has to go through that.
Ugh.
But I sent it wasn't really a paragraph, but I sent a message and I was like, listen, if you like it's valid ne, that you don't want to talk to me, you want to talk to me once a week. Simply because he said that he doesn't want to like get overwhelmed and whatever. I'm okay.
Ukhona into ayibhalansayo.
I'm okay. Ndiyamva ngohlobo oluthile simply because I'm trying to put myself in his shoes because I know me. And I'm also that silly girl that will get annoyed when I'm being spoken to by umuntu engamaziyo. But at the same time, I'm like, uyaxoxa wena.
Akho ndoda engasuka out of nowhere
It's
ithethe
gonna
loo nto out
once
of
a
the
week.
blue.
So, but anyway, giving him the benefit of the doubt, I'm like, fine, you're valid, right? But there's also the flip side of there's me. I get like bored. Not like, but I get like disinterested if you're not speaking to me.
Oh yeah.
And, which is also another little bit of like toxic
Mm.
zobana. Keep me on my toes, babe.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'll find
Yeah.
a reason to not be here.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Same.
I need to obviously send those
Same.
scales uba umuntu kungahambi kwithe la.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
But honestly, like keep me there because like honestly, if you don't, I'm really gonna find a reason to leave. And but also suibaxa like subangathi uyaqala uba lapha.
Yeah.
Let's have a good balance.
You've been
of
here
it.
before.
Yeah, you've been here before. But yeah, ufuna ibelani mana once a week mna man being like it will be our thing once a week. Every
Why are you
Wednesday.
making calls exciting? It's a once a week date.
Date?
It's a call.
Ike, babe. A call because long travels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do you know what's going on in my life? Like, how do you know anything about me?
It means it generally means you don't want to get to know me because there's nothing I'm going to say to you once a week. What if that Monday and funutet?
Exactly. And also, Buhle, it's like they understand that kudala ujola naye. Naleyo imba but you get what I'm saying? The minimum like talking. You know when your man's traveling, you're not fretting because you know that's your man. Like you know everything about them.
But it would never be once a week.
But it wouldn't be once a week. But the picture I'm trying to paint is that like you're still trying to get to know them.
That's
to talk once a week is brazy. Like
yes.
I don't know you.
That's what I'm saying, like-
what are we? I don't know, man. Like, it's just,
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
know,
saying,
something
Bana. He's showing signs of that he's not interested in you. Anyone who will talk to you once a week, who's already in a relationship with you, knows you and knows Bana. You are right. Like when you are in a relationship that's very stable, the chances of you talking to your partner on the phone all the time are less likely.
yes,
Because now you know they're out at work or whatever. There's that trust built and everything else, building blocks. But now umdomcha uzawufuna nawe once a week. Now every week you have to gather all those thoughts and feelings and do it in a phone call that's gonna be an hour long. That's what I was saying. He's not even saying by are we going on dates like once a week, and maybe I'm potentially talking to you every second day, because nyani talking over the phone, we're older now, abantu ba busy, it's overwhelming, it's not that serious. I think we'll mix it and go when we're in varsity, you're constantly talking to someone sharp, but once a week, that was brazy.
That was crazy. So as I told him, I was like, I understand you, but I understand me as well. But I'm also like, you know, like, and I was like, I understand. We just met, like, there's no pressure. I don't give a fuck about this shit that I'm saying here. But let me say it because that's the right thing to say.
Yeah.
But no pressure. We just met. I wouldn't be writing this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but I was like, and then pendulum, and then he was like, thank you. And that was the one thing when I was like, I'm actually going to end things with this guy. But I just end at that moment when he responded and he said, thank you for being transparent about communication. Have a safe flight.
Safe flight in Joburg, doing this podcast, talking about you,
nigga.
And never texting you back again.
And that's what the annoying part was, that, like, bana, how can what was I gonna say? How can they express something to you, and when you just say thank you for expressing that instead of engaging me?
Yes.
Okay, how can I make the situation better for both of us?
Yes.
So you're like, so basically when I here you babe, but okusalayo sizoqhuma lam.
Thanks, go tell
That master not with my time, not with my energy, not with my feelings, or whatever the case may be. Not come. Babes man can do where it was when he sent me a message and he's like to me, "Bana, I was thinking about you. I have the intention of calling you tomorrow. Just want to put
yes,
my
I remember that.
No.
So now you're here at Joburg.
Figured the next day I'm chilling, whatever. And that day I was really tired because remember I had an early morning.
Yes.
Really, really tired and whatever. Cool. Hey sana, alba umfana mna afone
ngo-9.
And the only reason I picked up is because he called me with a different number and I was on the phone call with like Unikita. So Kandi, you know, Pendula, it's him. Bod. Why would you phone him? That's a guy.
And ufonele Nxilile.
And go uTSP, and he's on the way home, and utibana, I can't hear you properly, no, because obviously there's even kala we can't do. So I'm saying to him,
also there's calls Gezazenza once a week, is sometimes once a week. How is he getting to know
how are you getting to know me? And then he gets home and he's explaining to me, oh no, what had happened was at work, they had this meeting, after work drinks, Unanu sent a message, but oh sorry Kay, you know what, I'll call you a bit later because I'm just held up at work. It's giving you don't respect me and whatever. So I said to him that it's very disrespectful. Online.
Usile.
Very, very disrespectful. No back to food is being scheduled on a call. Just generally, don't call me after 8.
And you're not my man. You're not my phone after 8.
Exactly. And also, as I'm about to like sort of get into it, but you know what? Actually, I don't appreciate A, B, C, and D. This is how I'm gonna go. What? Actually, no. Like I'm a bit tipsy right now, so like actually, let's talk like tomorrow or like sometime during the week. That's hi.
Oh,
hi. That's hi.
On phone.
That's like okay. That's hi. You know now, I'm gonna send a message that this thing is between you and I, it's really not gonna work out, and let's date it. Consider dead that already. Consider it dead. So I said to myself, like,
consider it
dead. And for me, when I like, it was a thing of like bro, like it's a thing of
sorry.
But the thing is, it's like, no, man, it was giving like, bro, like, you don't really like me. And like, why are you here then? Like, what are you doing? And for me, what was irritating me about that situation was like, you were, number one, you're trying to make the situation something that it's not, but also you're failing at doing that.
Yeah,
like in the sense of you're trying to make this romantic, whereas maybe you just want like sexual activity.
Yeah.
Of which you're trying to bamboozle me by pretending that.
Yeah, you want manipulating the situation.
Where it's like, I'm grown enough to know what I want.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
And yeah, land of bana.
I'm not 27.
Trying to paint a picture of, but oh no, I like you, let's talk. But like, let's talk once a week, whatever. But like, it's like, babe, you don't like me.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's really okay. Like, and you're mine. And it's
We literally.
like, it's fine. So that's what irritated me a lot. And also going to be strict. And no, especially on tester of trying to test certain things that you believe maybe like you like in a woman.
Yes.
But we are testing on
Yes.
you draw a scenario and then
Yes.
ufuna ukugauge impendulo. Yeah.
Last scenario. We.
Because remember when you asked me, he was like, Mana, I said like, oh, something smells like weird in your car. Then he was like, Mana, oh, I spilled something, whatever. I wanna, mind you, first day, and Utuba spilled something in the car. And he's like, would you like? And he's like, oh, do you want to take my car to the car wash? I said, no.
No.
Huh?
Ngemali
I'm gonna look. Oh, I didn't know, but like it's just like a measly 200 rand.
He could have easily just said,
No, he could have said nothing.
sorry, like I spilled on yes, I'm thinking of taking the car wash tomorrow. I'm sorry about the smell. Should I open the windows? How can I solve this situation?
And what about?
But now we
did
did it.
No, like I wasn't even saying it in a nasty way. I was like, man, like if he hasn't noticed, like something like really smells a bit off.
Yeah.
I was like, no, well, it's and he hasn't had a chance. Eh?
Benza uthula mna a little bit.
Hayi bo, kodwa kunuka something.
Benza, no, for real. Benza uthula. I wasn't gonna say anything, and then go shy enough. Yes, there's a smell here. Yeah. The thing is, if he's not, that's my thing, because I have embarrassment for other people. Like I tend to inherit other people's embarrassment. If I can smell it and he can smell it, I don't need to say anything. Like honestly,
No, but I wasn't really like in it. But it stinks in here. It was just like, like there's like a bit of a smell here, whatever.
Yeah.
Just in case. And then he was like, no, he hasn't had a chance to take his car to the car. Just quickly take it in. I was like, okay, cool. Was I landed about trying to take it to the car wash? I said no. And then he was like, but it's just like a mere 200 rand. But and then like, and then he kept on pressing about the Bible, but like it's just 200 rand. I said, to myself, nigga, I don't know you. I didn't ask to be here. I did not ask to be in this car. Sending it.
Actually, you can't listen.
No. Because remember, I told you about that. You know, I'm just like, I think the coach was. But that's crazy of me, obviously. But the thing is, I hated the fact that I could tell, but it's a test.
Yes.
It's a test when I'm one of those girls that I would do something for my man. Of course I would. But like, what I don't test like, that's odd. What other thing did he say? Oh, when he said to me, Bana, that day when I said I'm sleeping, ingathi kanti mhlambi dandi outil.
No, not when you're sleeping. When you passed out and he called, I called you, you didn't answer the phone, and then it's like, hi, ndiyazelapi.
Busendodeni.
Khawuphume ngazoncingo.
Was that was uphinde ucinge lonto ngam. But did you really think I'd give up on my dreams?
To pursue you? What about my other men?
No, but I wasn't at all. But it's like, that's
you were dealing with Xhosa men from
East
East
London.
London.
Just checked my actions. Man, no man, okay, yes, I'm all right. Okay, all right. So man, test. And also, there's labas of talk. Now you're giving me the platform to talk. What do you say? You let me phone live. And I was fuming. I said, we are the fan. I think also like
And I felt so bad because we allowed Lomfana
and clearly we gave him the platform. That's what irritated me.
Yeah.
Now we can go around and be like, damn, but yeah, but that was I was after that I felt so free.
And wherever you are, pin yenze lonto. 27.
What was I pinned? But yeah, shame.
real.
But yeah, otherwise I am single, not ready to mingle. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Rustless, manless, fatherless. Yeah, I feel I'm so. I'm so chilled. I'm so happy.
I'm glad. I think we're gonna end it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below and say we missed you guys. guys. Thank you for coming back. All the love. Give us all the love. And shout outs to Miss K October. She's finally back. Tell your friends, tag us, post videos, your favorite parts of the podcast. Comment down below anything you want us to talk about in the future, in the winter season, because I think I've just created these seasons now, like the autumn season, the winter season, the spring season,
And in
the summer season. Literally comment down below. Tell us what guests you want us to bring and what conversation you want us to have. Love you guys so much. See you next time with love and banter. Bye.